Hello and welcome to Film Slam Stream's post-film conversation for the Skates. My name is Eric Siler, and I'm an instructor of film, media arts, and communications, as well as moderator for this conversation. We're very pleased to be joined by the director of this film, Halima Ouardiri. Halima is a Swiss-Moroccan writer and director, and she's a graduate of the Mel Hoppenheim School of Cinema in Montreal, Canada. She's currently developing her debut film, The Camel Driving School. We'll learn more about that a little bit later. But first, let's talk about the skates and welcome Halima to us. Hello, Halima, and welcome.
Hello, hello. Nice to be with you.
Oh, it's good to be with you as well too. And let's uh talk about this film. One thing I did not ask in our pre-interview question, you're French speaking, is that correct? You're fluent in
That's right.
French?
That's right.
Yeah, so some of our students, maybe not now, who are joining us, may be studying in French and may be utilizing this film to help them with their French speaking. Can you say in French a special hello to our French language students?
Bien sûr. Bonjour à tout le monde, toutes et tous. Je suis très heureuse d'être ici aujourd'hui avec vous et j'espère que on pourra avoir une belle conversation autour du film Les Patins. Merci.
Trivia, mercy for that. Let's get into this film, The Skates. Very interesting film. In some ways difficult to watch. Can you tell us about the inspiration for this film, whether or not it was based on inspired by true events?
So the film was inspired by an anecdote of my childhood, in fact, and but it's not an autobiography because I mean I had to come up with a short story. And I tried to be faithful to the emotions I was feeling as a child, but I wanted to tell a story that could fit into those 11, 13 minutes and that could make understand the situation the child is in, caught up between two parents just after a divorce. So it's a mix between a personal story and a full-on fiction short film.
Oh, interesting. So when developing this story, you chose to tell it from the viewpoint of the father and the daughter. Why did you go that route as opposed to the mother and the daughter?
Because the story happens when the daughter is spending the day with her father. So I thought it was just natural to go this way. And also I thought that the reveal at the end was going to be even more interesting and powerful if we had not seen the mother before. We only had heard of her a few times in the story. So we could understand that what I was building on was going towards the relationship, the conflictual relationship between the father and the mother. But yes, that's why I thought it was more impactful to tell the story through the point of view of the father and the daughter. Also, it's really this point of view that was the dearest to me.
Mhm. In this film, there were a lot of subtle elements in telling the story. Tell us about the work that you put into developing the subtle elements, and I'll give you some examples, such as when they're at the skating rink and the father is talking to the skating instructor and he's being a little friendly to her. And then, when he's, putting the skates when he's on the bus and he's, intentionally forgetting the skates and he's being two-faced and gaslighting his daughter and so forth, all these subtle things that you put in the script. Did you develop it as you were going on, or did you know that you were gonna intentionally put these subtle features, subtle elements in the film as you were, developing it?
You know, the writing of the script went really, really quickly.
Mm.
It was something that probably was inside of me for years, that came out into a coherent story quite easily, which is not the case usually, because it's hard to be very simple and at the same time complex. But I mean, on the writing of the script, what I tried to do is that I tried to stay as simple as possible and to pay attention to those details, because everything was planned ahead. Of course, everything was thought ahead, but it went easily. It was put in place easily, and of course, at the editing stage, again, we try to be as simple as possible in telling the story, and with the balance between what we showed and when we showed it and what we did not show. So it was a third rewriting at the editing stage also.
And also not only the writing, what helped with this film was the antagonist, the father as the antagonist, the role of the daughter, how she was just so innocent and just wanted to, please her father, just wanted to skate. That elevated him more into this antagonist as well too. Did you intentionally have the daughter be so, innocent to elevate his character?
Yes, I think it was important to have this opposition. Um, I tend to like, characters that maybe can be a bit more witty or a bit more, strong and powerful. But in that case, I thought that the only moment she could really be strong, it was when she was skating. And I think I showed that. I showed that this was her moment to try to understand who she is. Also, not only a very soft and nice little girl, but also this girl who has all this creativity inside her, creativity that is going to be repressed, and gaslighted by the father. So yes, this contradiction between the two characters is very important, but also a bit of a nuance on her, that she's as well as a very soft person and nice person, and also someone with a lot of life inside.
Absolutely. The title of the film, The Skates, it has a symbolic reference as well too. Can you elaborate on that? Why you entitled it The Skates and how and what that meant to the film?
Well, I think I was just lucky that it has this symbolic sense in the title, because I just couldn't see another better title for the film, and it just was suited so well. But of course, the skates, it evokes a cut, or it evokes a mark. It evokes something that will stay with you forever. And I think that this kind of behavior, this kind of violence that an adult can have towards a child, is also something that is a scar on you forever, psychologically.
Interesting. Interesting. Nicely done. Let's talk a little bit about the production. You shot this in Canada. How long did it take to shoot the film? And tell us about where you found your actors.
Well, the shoot was a 5 days shoot, which is pretty conventional in Canada for short film. And then what we did is that I had the father the father actor in mind very quickly after writing the script. I really I'm a big fan of his work, and I thought it was he had this ability to be both this very charming and gentle character, who can hide his game, he has a two-face capability. So I really liked him, and he accepted the role right away, which was a real honor for me. And also the young actress, she's a really great actress, and she was back then only 11 years old. She's actually nominated for the Young Artist Award, or Young Los Angeles in this summer. She's really Ines. She's a very professional actor, and I met her through word of mouth also. And then after that, I realized she was already everywhere. So basically, she taught me a lot about acting. She's on way more shooting than I've ever been on. She's very professional already.
Yes, she did a wonderful job, especially the chemistry between her and the father were really nicely done in that respect. In terms of the locations, are you able to get a skating rink and someone's house? Tell us a little bit about, seeking the locations for the
But
film.
yes, okay. So then I worked with a location manager, very great location manager, Aisha Riani. She's working on the big shoots here in Quebec. And so she has so much experience and people trust her also. That's an important part. So she found basically the skating ring was a hard one because it was the high season. It was December. So very hard to find some 2 days in a row to shoot in there. But she ended up finding this amazing skating ring. Also, I was looking for some out of time place, not too modern. And she did a wonderful job. Same for the apartment. She actually went on Airbnb to look for it. And it was, I needed a place that I wanted the father to be a well-off person, a character. I did not want, to show that it's only people from a certain social class that have this kind of issue in family issue. I wanted to show that it happens in all the places in the society,
Mhm.
all the classes. I mean,
Exactly. And what about the bus? How did you tell us about getting the bus?
well, they actually rent this for cinema shoots.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's one that we can remove the seats that we don't want. So I was lucky to have a really good production um, situation. I mean, I had a good budget, and I was able to rent out, the locations as like the bus that are made for cinema. And so it makes life easier because everybody knows what to do, and it was prep for us for the shoot with the driver. And so that was amazing because we had a very important seat in the bus, so we couldn't do this with public people inside. It was not possible. Although those are
Exactly.
extra.
Exactly. Exactly. Looking back over the 5 days that you shot and the editing process, film's all done. You watch it a lot of times. Uh, what do you wish you had it done differently?
I mean, I think you always want to do everything differently when you finish a film. I think it's normal. And what I would have liked to do differently is that, usually I'm not used to work with big crews. It was quite it's a big crew, but it's regular for short films, professional short films in Quebec. But I would have probably liked to have less people on the set and more shooting days.
When you say big crew, give us a number. How many people?
Oh my God, it's hard for me. I'm so bad with numbers, but I think we were around 40 people. Like
Yeah, that is big
row.
for a short. That is, yes.
It's big. It's a lot of people, and yeah, it's nice, and it was very professional, and it was going fast, and it was going well. But at the same time, I love short teams, small teams, and I love to have more time. 5 days
Okay.
is so quick. No, actually, sorry. It's 4 days that I had. I mixed up with some with my first short film. It's 4 days I had. 4 days. You don't even have time to blink. It's just gone.
Wow. Yes, 4 days, 4 long days actually. So it seemed
Yes.
like five because they're long days.
Yes.
That sense. Oh, let's talk a little bit more about the meaning of the film itself. how has the response been? What have people said to you after they screened this film?
Well, the response was very emotional. A lot of, people would write me emails and tell me about their own stories, or they were all telling me, "Oh, wow, what a hard film to watch, but I'm glad you did this film." So that was mostly the response I got, and also they were always very impressed by Inez's performance. They always had a good word for her, and they all really disliked the father.
Well, that's a tribute to the job that you did. That's what you wanted.
Yes, I wanted to show the real face of the person, because he's at the beginning of the film he's showing us another face, and a lot of the time you only see this only face to such a character. You rarely get to see the private part of this person, and the intimacy into the house, what's going on really. And this is what I wanted to show, but at the same time I believe I also showed he could be affectionate and sensitive in his own way, because it's a human being, and I think this is exactly why it's so complicated in this case.
Yeah, I mean, I seen a lot of films, a lot of short films. People, sometimes turn into sequels. Uh, do you have any intentions of making a sequel? And if not, how would you continue this film?
I would like to continue explore the family relationships into another film. I have a film idea about that, but I'm not ready yet, because it's been so hard to do this one. That's something I haven't tell you yet, but the film is now done. It's going to festivals around the world, and I'm happy about this. But it was very hard to do this film for me. So I don't know how I would approach a feature with the same subject, or with the same characters. I would have to think about it and see how I can distance myself more next time.
Okay, I see. I think it's important. I mean, maybe not for you, but I think for the viewers, we would like to see some type of continuation, some type of resolution. We want to see, more about the father. Maybe, we could see the reasoning behind some of the things, or maybe
Yeah.
he's just a bad person. Maybe he gets, justice or something. You give the audience that, impression like we want justice.
I understand. It makes me think of a reaction of an audience member from Toronto Film Festival. That he told me, you have to do a feature. You have to tell us what's going on. We want more. You cannot leave us with just that. So
Yeah.
it resonates.
Exactly. I hope you do get the chance to do that. Before I let you go, tell us briefly about the Camel Driving School. What is that?
Well, the Camel Driving School is a bittersweet comedy that I'm going to shoot in Morocco, about a woman recently widowed, and her pre-adolescent son, and how they uh, managed to live after the death of the husband. And it's basically this woman who has to start working, and it's the first time, and she goes to a pastry shop where she meets a bunch of women that are training for a rally into the desert, a car rally. And they are bringing her along in this adventure. And basically, she learns how to learn who she really is.
Interesting. Are you shooting that in Morocco?
That's right.
Okay, okay. Looking forward to that when it comes out. Well, thank you so much, Halima Ouardiri, director of the Skates. Thank you so much for joining us today, and for bringing us this really interesting and important film. I wish you, much success, continued success in all your endeavors.
Thank you very much. Et puis à bientôt tout le monde. Bonne chance pour le français.
And thank you for that as well too.
Thank you.
And thank you to our audience for joining us for this important and invigorating conversation. For more information about our upcoming film festival, please visit us at clevelandfilm.org. I'm Eric Siler. Thank you.